1991, December the 12th, we took the first team of professional boxers and kickboxers to Ukraine, Kiev, for the first professional fights that they were going to have there once the Soviet Union broke. Now, the understanding I had off the record was that it was a bunch of KGB guys that ended up with all this money, so they decided to have professional sports. Well, being there, I saw two giants that looked like pillars, and they were the Klitschko brothers, Vladimir and Vitaly Klitschko. And Vitaly was a kickboxer that fought in the same card as us in Las Vegas. Vladimir was an Olympic gold medalist, and these were young kids then. Well, going forward, I think like 10, 15 years, they're in Las Vegas training, and I go and I mentioned that I was there in Kiev, and they remembered. And then I had the poster, so I showed them the poster, and they remembered all these guys. And it turns out that when the movie Ocean's 11 came out, Vladimir Klitschko was the guy in the movie fighting Lennox Lewis when the lights go off, and then they do this robbery. And Vitaly's the corner guy, but I ended up being their cut man. So, you know, times after, when Vladimir lost his world title, Lehman Brewster, he came back. They got rid of Joe Souza, which was their original cut man, and they brought me on board. You know, Vladimir told Emmanuel Stewart that he wanted the cut man that was in the movie with him, which was me. And I had seen Emmanuel the day before. He was a commentator for HBO, and I'm walking and standing there, and he's walking by, and he says, "Stitch, I need to talk to you about Vladimir." And he goes like this, and I'm talking to my partner. I said, "Well, did you see what I saw?" Well, the next day he calls me and asks me to be on board. But tremendous guys, man. You know, both these guys speak like 5 languages. You know, they both have their PhDs in sports psychology, sports science. Right now, you know, Vladimir is really he's been a world champion for, God, I think I've done 18, 19 fights with him, and he's been a champion, you know, for like 15 of those. And Vitaly's retired as the WBC heavyweight champion, gave that belt up. Now he's the mayor of Kiev. And right now, as you know, they're going with battle with Russia. But one of the great things, you know, Vladimir is more westernized. He trains with a lot of American fighters. Emmanuel Stewart was his head coach at one time, so he's a lot more westernized. Vitaly, more of the pit bull, more of the Soviet Union, the Ivan Drago Russian guy. But a great story with that is I think like 2 fights ago, we're in Moscow, and I'm saying goodbye to him in the dressing room, and he's standing like 6'8", right? And he says, "Stitch, I'm not gay, but I love you." And man, I tell you what, Bob, that's been the biggest compliment I've ever had. And I have fighters tell me they love me all the time, but to hear from Vitaly Klitschko, that probably doesn't even tell his kids, you know, or his wife that, but for him to tell me that, and I was just joking about that because he does. He's very, very, but for him to tell me that just meant so much to me.